20 female. My cheating ex-boyfriend saw me with a big D asterisk ick in my mouth, FM. I'm not usually this petty, but when my ex-boyfriend posted a picture of him and the girl he cheated on me with, on his story at the bar with friends, I was completely done with him. I asked my roommate Cassie to hang out with me for the night and told her what I saw, but she said her FCK buddy was on his way up. Like the good friend she is, Cassie was going to send him home, but an idea popped up in her head. Why don't you hook up with Jalen instead? He's gorgeous and has a big DCK. We've never done anything like this before and only talked about S**x a couple times when we're drunk. Plus I'm not really someone who just hooks up with anyone, but I was so tired of being FCKED over by my ex that this was actually sounding like a good idea. When Jalen walked in, Cassie introduced him. He was very handsome and tall. She updated him about my ex and then proposed the same thing she did to me. As this was completely out of nowhere, he thought it was a joke, but she promised him it wasn't. I was still on the fence about it and he could tell I still wasn't convinced this was a good idea. It didn't take much convincing for Jalen to offer his support and I took him to my room where we made out for a long time. He was an amazing kisser and my hands naturally made his way to his boner. Cassie wasn't lying, he was FCK and huge. I stroked him under his sweats and he and into my mouth, which was super hot. My fingers couldn't wrap around his CCK, it was so thick. Why don't we show him what he's missing and regret everything he did to you? He pushed me down to my knees and I pulled down his pants and underwear. His DCK sprung out and hit me in my face, which was hilarious. I couldn't believe how big he was. I just kept stroking him and looking at it, wondering how my roommate could take all of it. I was so turned on from making him hard that I took him into my mouth. He was at least double my ex's size, so my jaw was a bit sore by the end of it. Open up your phone and let's show him what he's missing. Jalen recorded me and took some photos of his CCK in my mouth. I looked directly into the camera so my ex could see how much I was enjoying this beautiful man's big DCK. Anning and gagging myself on him. We sent him one and then a few minutes later my ex called non-stop. We ignored him until Jalen got fed up and answered. Hey man, she's busy right now and can't come to the phone. Don't call back. I found that so hot. I continued S**ck in and stroking him until he came in my mouth and on my face. His C**m tasted so different and yummy that I swallowed it all. The whole situation made me feel like a whole new woman. I S**cked him gently and squeezed out anything left in his DCK, as a thank you for his services. Jalen kissed me and went over to Cassie's room for the night. I'm completely done with my ex and blocked him on everything, probably done with dating for a while now that I know I have a roommate who's willing to share her FCK buddy with me. I just blew the Uber Eats deliver guy and I feel like AFCK in MF. Last night my boyfriend wanted to try something new. He had me answer the door in just a B**raw and P inties, and it was fun. He liked it, and I really liked it. Today I kept thinking about it, and it was making me really horny, so I decided to try it again. Alone. And I went as far as only wearing a thong. Well, it was certainly exciting, but I FCKED up. The guy was way more confident than the guy from last night. He complimented me, and I liked that, so I didn't just grab my food and close the door. Instead I talked with him, and flirted. At one point I even did a little spin for him so he could see my B*** too. That's when he actually touched me. He grabbed my B** and gave it a squeeze, and I didn't pull away, or tell him not to touch. Which made him bolder. He touched more than my A**ss. He pulled my close and felt my tits with one hand, and my A**ss with the other. I was conflicted. This is the kind of thing I love, and it felt so FCK and good, but this was so wrong. But instead of stopping him, I was M***annin. He slid his hand down my thong, and I spread my FCK in legs for him. I wasn't even thinking, I just wanted him to touch me more. He fingered me right there in my doorway, while groping my tits. I didn't even know this guy's name, but he made me see *M on his fingers. It was FCK and surreal. He wasn't the only one doing the touching either, and I was gripping his DCK over his pants the whole time. After he made me see *M, he told me to take his DCK out. I was so in the moment I didn't even think about it, and I did what he told me. I promised myself I'd just touch him a little, maybe JRK him off. But then he put a hand on my shoulder and pushed down, and like the stupid B*itch I am, I dropped to my knees. He put his DCK to my lips and I opened my mouth for him. IS*CKED his FCK in DCK, almost completely naked, in my doorway. A complete stranger, and I was S*CK in his CCK. And not just that, he started FCK in my face and I let him. He had his hand on the back of my head and he just went for it. I was gagging and coughing as he roughly used me and he didn't give a S* hit, and it was so hot. He only lasted another few minutes before CMMIN down my throat, and I took it all. He pulled out and actually slapped his wet DCK on my face, thanked me for the tip, and asked for my number. And I FCK in gave it to him. What the FCK is wrong with me? I can't believe I did all that, and liked it so much. F*CK I feel like such a dumb whore. Sorry this isn't written like my other content, I just had to write this out. I hoped it would help clear my head but it hasn't. I still feel terrible, and simultaneously turned on. What the FCK? MF, finding out she's on birth control, after C*MMING inside her. I'm currently sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with a 24-year-old woman. Initially, she only wanted female roommates, to help her with the rent. However, I work abroad and therefore rarely home. This worked out very well in her favor. As she basically gets my full rent, but I only stay there for 1 weekend a month. We aren't friends with benefits, but we have irregularly hooked up in the past. Usually when she's been out drinking and didn't manage to bring a guy home. The first time we hooked up, she got too drunk and asked me to pick her up from the train station. We ended up making out in my car and then had S*X when we got home. I thought it may have just been a drunken one-night stand, but it has occurred multiple times since then. Almost every time, I've been home. Last Friday, she came home at about 4 a.m. I was still awake, as I had also been out and only got back an hour earlier. I didn't hear any other people, so I had a good guess that she would soon knock on my door. She knocked twice and we started making out as soon as I opened the door. She's super horny when she's drunk and has very little patience for foreplay in this state. We soon strip off and I put AC and Dom on. We FCKED and missionary and passionately made out. Maybe it was the alcohol, but I wasn't able to orgasm. However, she managed to C*M twice by rubbing her C*lit, whilst I continued FC*M her. We both went to the bathroom to clean up. I saw her take a pill, before pushing her teeth. I assumed it was her melatonin, to put her to sleep. She ended up sleeping in my room. Usually she goes back to her room after we finished. In the morning, she woke up complaining about still feeling drunk. I got her a glass of water and some toast. We stayed in bed cuddling. I got hard whilst we were spooning and she playfully wiggled her butt on my shaft. I pulled my DCK out and started stroking it. She said my DCK looks a lot bigger in the light and we both laughed. I asked if she wanted a quickie and she sheepishly agreed. I did think about putting AC and Dom on, but she hadn't mentioned it either and we have had unprotected S*X before. We FCKED slowly and made out in missionary position. After not seeing Min the night before, I was very sensitive and was getting close to the edge. She told me to go faster. I tried to pace myself, but knew I was gonna C*M. I was too embarrassed, as it's only been a few minutes. I started Min, but didn't stop. After about 10 seconds, I had emptied my balls inside her and continued FCK in her. My DCK stayed hard, so she didn't notice. She did comment that I had used a lot of lube. I asked if it was too much, but she said it felt nice. She told me to go faster, which I did. She then started rubbing her C*lit and orgasm not soon after. She tensed up, gritted her teeth and grunted. She relaxed and let out a sigh. I continued FC*M her slowly and then she told me I could C*M inside her if I wanted to. This took me by surprise, because I had overheard her before telling her friend she had to carry condoms because she wasn't on birth control. I felt relieved that she was gonna let me see *M in her anyway. I kinda wished I had paced myself and came inside her, as she was also having an orgasm. I tried to see *M again, but couldn't. So I went through the motion and pretended. When I pulled out, there were *M spatter all over her groin and inner ass cheeks. It had also started to leak out of her PSSY. I came inside her a lot. We went to the bathroom to clean up. She had left out the pills she took last night. They are small white pills and now I realize they are definitely not melatonin. I asked her what they were, she smiled and said they were her contraception pills. I was surprised by this. I asked if she was seeing anyone. She said she is. I asked who and she looked me up and down. We had a chat about our relationship. I thought she wanted for us to get serious, but she laughed me out the room. She said that I wasn't around enough to be her boyfriend or even friends with benefits. However, we have been hooking up monthly for over a year and a lot of the time, unprotected too. It was a good idea for her to go on birth control just in case. Anyway, it's gonna be about 2 months until I'm next home. I hope she stays on birth control, because I definitely want to see *M inside her again.